Okay.
So, okay, here we go. It's recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome again back to this site. Today we're talking about exams, and I'm here with an old friend of mine who was a student and is now left and gone on his way to more, more and more success after taking his exams, and he's come today to talk with me about his experience during the exam that we did together, and what the result was, and any advice he can give to people who are looking to take exams in English, which is IELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL, especially to do with the speaking part, because that's what he did. He did the speaking exam. So I'm Alex, as you remember, and I'm introducing you to my friend Fabrizio. Hello, Fabrizio. Hello, ho, ho.
Hello.
You sound like Father Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You brought some presents.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you for taking time to come and talk to us very quickly, because it's a quick interview. And could you just tell us a bit about yourself and what made you start the English, when you began?
Okay. I'm Fabrizio, as you said, and I'm a software developer. And I started this course because my company started to grow and started to become more international. And as you know, when you go outside your country, the standard language is English.
Of course.
My English wasn't really good. And in fact, I had a lot to improve, but I did a big improvement with this course.
Yeah.
I took the TOEIC certification.
That's it.
I'm really proud of it, really, because as you know, when I started, I wasn't really. I didn't trust myself.
Yes. Oh yeah. I do remember that very clearly.
Yes.
I remember when you first came to me, you sent me an email, but a very long one, and you had lots of questions, like, if I do this, what will happen to this? Will this be okay if I do this? Are you sure it'll be okay to do this? And yes, I remember that very, very clearly. We met on italki because you came to and found me on italki, and what was the search process? How did you find me? What was the and when did you decide, okay, you know what, I need to do this and try?
In fact, I start looking to many teachers on italki, as I think many do.
Yeah.
And the driver was the video, because my first worrying was about understanding the teacher. This is a real problem for someone starting to do a course, because if you can understand the other side, you can learn nothing.
Yeah.
And so, at the same time, I wanted to get a teacher, a native speaker, not an Italian one. I'm Italian.
Yeah.
And so an Italian one was not good for me, because my worry was if I had a problem, I can start to talk Italian, and he can talk with me in Italian, and this is not good.
And
I had a full immersion. To learn, I need a full immersion.
Not in Italian.
Not in Italian, right. Neither in other languages. Only English.
Orange.
And so my preference about you was about this. The video was really clear, simple to understand. And for me, this is the important thing.
That's a good thing to remember, because I spent a lot of time doing that video. There was many additions, and I just tried to be as careful as I could. And what's interesting is when you think of the kind of student. Oh, sorry.
I lost the connection.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. We're back. I've got you back.
Okay.
No, I was just saying what's interesting is I spent a lot of time doing this video, and when you do make an effort and you have a student in mind, and you sort of, because you think about them and stuff. So I'm glad to hear that, because it was
another important thing was you was really calm in the video.
Mm.
So this is another important thing, because you are worried to talk with someone that speak a language that is not your language.
Yes.
Having someone really calm, really, it's important.
Yeah.
It's another driver for choosing the right teacher.
Totally agree. And how did you feel after the first few interactions? Because you had many questions like, what's the payment structure going to be like? How are we going to do this? How did you feel after the first lesson? Because what I remember from the first lesson was, one, you weren't clear how you were going to tackle the exam, because our first few lessons was going through which exam is best for you. Do you remember? Because you weren't sure.
Yes, yes.
So how did you feel just after that, when you understood how much work is required for this
thing? Felt good from one point of view, because all my thought about you was confirmed by talking with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was worried about the exam itself, because I didn't trust myself. I wasn't not sure about my possibility to do this exam and take the certification. So there were two sides. From one side, I was happy, because I say to myself, okay, Alex is like I see in the video. It's calm, I can understand it. It's really good. On the other side, I said, it's really hard to take this certification. I think it's harder.
No, I agree with you. I agree, because the TOEIC, you have listening and reading exam, and then you have the speaking and writing, which is what you did. And that's more of a challenge, because you really are, it's really something when you turn up on the day, how you are, how you act and perform. It's almost like, there's no room to make a mistake on this day. So we worked a lot on this.
Yes, I totally agree.
I totally remember.
In our exam, but I think with a good strategy, and we did a good strategy.
Yeah.
You can do it without much problem, or with a lot less problem than I thought in the start of the course. This is the real thing.
That's true. I have several questions going on from that, just some questions, because I remember the memories, and for me they're funny. The first one was, do you remember when we had to go through pronunciations of things?
Oh, yes.
Because there were so many things you weren't confident about. You were afraid that. Well, tell the story. If I don't know if you remember that, but just the pronunciation side of things.
Yes, pronunciation for me was one of the biggest problem, and in fact, it's it's still a problem, but a lot less than month ago.
It's about 5 months ago.
5 months ago, yes, and I was really worried about this, because in my mind the exam was more about pronunciation,
yes,
and less about all other things. For me, it was all, now we are here to check your pronunciation. And this was really, really daunting for me at the beginning. But lesson after lesson, having improvement, I grew up, trust in myself.
I totally agree with that. And what's not clear on this video is that you're a different person today than the person when we first started. We should have filmed something then, like to keep.
Yes, this is true.
That's true. You really, you exude confidence now. You're quite sure when you're speaking to me what you want to say, which is funny and great at the same. For me, it's very, very satisfying to see this. Because it's one thing to say, well, I'll make you confident, but then to see someone afterwards, especially after they pass the exam, it's very, very good feeling, I have to say, for me. The other sub question is, do you remember how sometimes we had to do things over and over and over again?
Yes, I can remember the tongue twisters.
Your favorite thing.
Wow, the best experience in my life. Tongue twister. I think They are killing me. I'm trying also now.
You still do it?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Sometimes I try to do tongue twister because I understand that they are really good to improve your pronunciation.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
they are really hard. Really, really hard. Some of them are impossible. Really impossible for me. I remember the one about spaghetti on the head. No,
no. That was a video. That was a video.
No, different video. Yes. No, show. The one about the show. But I can't remember.
Oh yeah, the show. I remember that. I can't remember.
Oh.
I can't remember exactly.
Shoe.
It was about the shoe shine.
This one.
Yes.
I let you.
Because I have to go and check it because I can't remember the exact words.
Some oil on my tongue. Starting. They are really hard. They are the part of the
it says when you go for the exam, you take the exam, get a teacher, a book, and some oil to put
on my tongue. Yes.
I'll tell you the one I remember of you was the Happy Harry. Do you remember that? Happy Harry says something.
Oh yes.
The H. The H is
the H.
Yes. S and H.
The H and the S. Was and part are my biggest problem.
Yes.
S and H.
No.
Hello.
The hello. And it was Harry. It was
our repeating again and again.
Harry. That was it. Happy Harry.
Ham. Yes. Yes. I can remember all the things.
I don't think people understand how much you had to keep doing that.
Yes.
To get your confidence up, to get you believing in yourself. You know, we really worked for months on that. Months and months.
This is true.
On this thing.
The key is repetition.
Yes.
Repetition brings perfection. There is a saying about this. I'm far from the perfection.
But I'm on the road. I'm on the right road.
But I'm on the right road. Yes, this is true. Far not on the right road.
I can see the end, but I'm going
really far. I can see it. This is true.
Here's another question, an intriguing one, which for me is very interesting. Now, another thing people don't realize is, you started the course, you're doing it, but we hadn't set a date yet. Because when you do the speaking and writing exam, you actually have to choose your dates like a few months in advance. Yes. So do you remember that? We kept changing the time because we weren't sure.
Yes. The problem was, in fact, it's clear. I was worried about the date. So this was the first problem. Another problem was more practical because do you remember there was the holiday, the Christmas holiday.
Yes.
In the middle of our course.
Yes.
So I had to shift the first date.
Yes.
But the real things, it's in your head. This exam is something like a big mountain.
Yes.
You are scared about it, so you try to move. But I can remember your suggestion, and it was really, really important for me. Some people said you have to fix the date.
Yes.
Because you have to feel the pressure about the exam.
Yeah.
And, this is true. At some point, you have to fix the date and feel the pressure, because this pressure can give you the force, the
required
energy, required to do it.
Totally agree. I have three questions, and then we finish. Mine is, this is a simple question, and the only reason I'm asking is not because of the grammatical element; it's because of the how funny it was.
Okay.
At some point, because we were doing a lot of drills and practicing speaking, recording. We weren't focused on grammar.
Yes.
Then, do you remember adjectives and adverbs?
I remember
During-
not
during-
all the
not the act, but the whole thing. When you realized,
yes, the whole things. Yes, I can remember. I
Okay.
remember the list. I remember the
Yes.
repetition I did for a week
Exactly.
before our next lesson about. Ah, yes, I remember. I can't forget this moment.
No, what we're actually talking about, people listening, is that we were doing drills, and then at some point you realize that, wow, I really need to work on my adverbs.
Yes.
Because you'd never taken them, not you've never taken them seriously, but you've never focused on them.
Yes.
And you realize, wow, and especially the part where you have to describe a photo, question number 1.
Yes.
And you kept struggling with coming up with the right adverbs. You're like, oh, I don't know which is it.
Describing what the content of the picture. Yes, I
You
can
remember this, right? So it was that was a small stressful time because we had to push back again the
Yes.
date for the exam because of this. And
Yes,
we
we
were
did,
working on-
I think we did this more than once
yeah,
because our approach was talking and extract from our talking the problem.
yes,
And try to focus on the problem. And this is a
Yes.
really good approach
correct,
because it's not so formal. You have no a strict journey
correct.
for your course. You
Yeah.
talk. I can remember many funny conversations. Conversation. But
So, some we
really-
can't say here.
yeah. But this conversation was really good because coming from the conversation, a lot of details about my problem, my weakness.
Yes,
And,
exactly.
We try to fix every single problem, and I
Yeah.
think it's a really good approach.
I think so too. And it was a good way to really find out what the problem was, because sometimes you think when you're official, you think okay, this is my problem, but in fact, there's some other problems like
Yes.
these adverbs and adjectives.
This is the truth. Sometimes you think you have a problem. I don't know, with the grammar, with the particular part, but talking, a teacher can understand the problem is another one. And you have to focus on this one, not the first one.
Exactly.
I think this is really important.
2 final questions, and then we're done. 2 final questions. The first is, one of the things we had to do in our in our lessons were doing exam drills where we did timing. We'd take a part of the exam and time it exactly like the way it should be in the real exam, the speaking exam. Tell me your experience of that. What was that for you like? Because we really did. We used to time, the bit in the speaking part, part 1, 2, where you have to stop it for 30 seconds or 45. Do you remember this?
Yes, I remember we did a lot of exercise, timing my performance.
Yeah.
And I think this was a big problem also in the exam. Do you remember I said in the exam that some recording was short or too long?
Yeah.
I think timing is one of the key points for the exam.
Totally.
It's really hard to be to keep calm because the timer, it's really stressful for you.
Yeah.
And on the other time, to be really precise about your time because you have 50 seconds, 10 seconds, like this.
Yeah.
I think this is the more challenging part of the exam.
Yeah.
Totally. It's really hard to be precise about this timing. Really hard.
Well, it's a good link to my last question, which is the final question is, could you take us through on the day of the exam, how you prepared and got there, and any advice you could give to fellow people wanting to take TOEIC or even other exams like IELTS, TOEFL, GMAT, whatever?
I think it's obvious, but the best advice is try to keep calm, to be calm the day of the exam, and try to do all the things you can do to be calm. So, I don't know, listening music or I think the last day, and this was your suggestion, and I think it's really important, you don't have to study nothing. You have to keep your mind empty, free for, because last day, if you try to study, the result is only to improve to make grow your stress.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is the big advice I can suggest to someone have to do the exam.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And I know you've taken a lot of time to be here today. Thank you. I'm very, very happy. I never said this, but we're very proud of you that you passed. You got B1. You got a very, very good mark in the test. So congrats, and enjoy it. Now you can enjoy it. You don't have to worry about any stressful speaking exams because you did it. You did it. So
yes. This is a big thing.
What was the feeling like when you received the news?
I was really, really happy because it was like putting down a lot of weight.
Forever.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
Reaching the top of the mountain. Yes.
Yes.
It was like you have done, and suddenly you are no more in this cycle to study, lesson, because
to be stressed.
Yes, it's really stressful. It's hard.
Totally.
Also, I did this course working with the family.
That's true.
So I had to cut my time, cut my time to do the lesson.
Correct.
In the night, in the Saturday.
Yeah, we did a lot of Saturdays.
Yes, a lot of Saturday and also a lot of night or evening.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
It's hard after a day of work. It
for
was,
sure.
But also for you. I know you can understand.
No, totally. No, you deserved it, and well done for passing the exam. You did the work and you deserved it. So
yes,
as a teacher, I'm happy. So thank you all very much, and hope to speak to you again soon. I'll speak to you soon, Fabrizio, but tune in again for the next episode on this podcast. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Okay, so I've paused it now.
Okay.
And